Cool.
Can I?
Mm-hmm.
May I? Goodbye.
What is the saying, Sheriff? Glass houses. Do you think you have the moral authority?
I'm just trying to find a missing girl here.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? This is Heather. This is my friend Heather.
I am Heather. This is my friend Lee.
Hi. It's been a while coming. I talked about this movie as my worst film of 2017, and it's here now.
And it is! It's bad.
It's so fucking bad. The Hatred is directed by Who Gives a Fuck, and it stars Andrew Divoff and other people.
Which makes me sad.
I don't want to talk about who actually is responsible for this film, because that'd be giving them the credit that they don't deserve. This movie was originally called Alice, which is generic enough, but it was retitled to The Hatred because clearly it hates its audience. This man... I can't even be like, oh, it's like his first movie, so I'll get him some slack, because the guy's like 60 years old and he's directed 10 films other than this.
For a while, too. Like, he was in Jerry Maguire as an actor.
He's been working for a while.
He's been working for a while, and then he was like, I'm gonna do this myself because nobody's giving me roles that I deserve.
There's no excuse for how fucking terrible this movie is. There's not. There's no reason. There's no excuse. I want to kill myself. This movie's bad.
This is a bad movie.
So, like I said, The Hatred involves a bunch of people. I don't really care. It's about a bunch of college girls who go to a house that was owned by a Nazi who killed his daughter.
But, like...
Is there a plot, though?
I spent the whole time trying to figure out what the plot was. Because I was genuinely trying, because it would make things make sense. Like, when you figure out the central plot, you're able to follow the story. You're not focusing, you're not spending mental effort trying to catch up with what happened. And by not having any direction other than, like, there are 4 college girls in a house.
Spooky things happen to pretty people.
Bad things happen to sexy girls.
I saw this movie before 2017 ended, and I refused to review it because it was so bad. And also because I wanted to see it again with more than one person in the room, so I could maybe hope
You wanted to ruin my day.
I wanted to ruin your day, but I also was hoping that being with someone would help me understand it more. It didn't. Who the fuck was the little girl? How was she connected to them? How does anything in this movie connect? What is going on in this film?
The thing that distresses me most is that you've seen this twice now.
I still don't fucking know.
You still don't understand why the little girl was there, who the little girl belonged to, why was the little girl...
Who is this child? Who does she belong to? Why is she here?
Why does this clearly at least... Like, she was like 11 years old, and they gave her lines like a 6-year-old. She's like... She's like doing this like giggle like... They put a baby monitor in an 11-year-old girl's room.
I still don't understand who the fucking main girl was. So, according to the IMDb summary that I actually had to look up to understand what the fuck was going on, these are 4 college girls who go to hang out at their college professor's house.
Who wasn't even there.
He's not there, and it's like a bed and breakfast.
And also grandma's dying.
And also grandma's dying for some reason. And the fucking... And the main girl, who has the largest crazy eyes I've ever seen, is like... Oh, this little girl's tutor is supposed to drop her off here. Who the fuck is this little girl? How are they connected? Is she her cousin? What is going on?
They made it seem like they were very close to saying "I love you" to each other. Like,
right, but
so like I would say like cousins.
Here's the thing, though.
But like, but that's their college professor's house. No relation.
Right. Okay. Here's the thing. The little girl lives at that house.
She told like 3 people, like, would you like to see my room?
She lives at the house, but the people who own the house are far too old to be her parents, and
they're not.
They're letting a bunch of random college girls stay there, but it seems like the little girl is related to the main girl.
One of them. But she was there to get a job.
I don't...
And then she brought her 3 friends there.
And it's a bed and breakfast.
And it's a bed and breakfast. But it all starts.
This seems like you're trying to fucking like explain a situation that happened to you when you're drunk to a friend.
I've had that problem.
It's like what the fuck, man?
And we're not trying to be like dramatic. It literally nothing made sense. It started off. I like the way it started.
The opening isn't terrible.
It
Andrew Divoff is a Nazi. He's giving a wonderfully over-the-top performance.
It was a fun level of cheesy I expected from a movie that I was told was bad.
Also, everything was sepia tone.
You mean the piss filter?
I'm gonna just get my notes because fuck it. I mean, honestly, hey, I'm gonna have a laptop on my lap
because
so
there's so little direction that. Where do you start?
First off, this movie starts off with American Horror Story font. It's the straight up font from American Horror Story.
And at first I thought it was like, oh, they're trying to hide it. But then nope, next one, and there's like the dots and shit. This was made in 2015.
15, 16, something.
So like, no excuse there as to like, oh, we did this before them. They clearly got it off of like one of those free fonts.com websites that give you like a virus.
Some of the worst child acting I've ever seen in a film. We saw it. We saw fucking Stranger Things. Like, kid actors can be really fucking good.
They can be great, and
this girl sucks.
And this girl sucks. Mm-hmm. And then there was that weird, awkward scene where we ended up finding out there was like a little boy.
Oh, the little boy who's hanging with the Nazi's daughter?
Yeah.
He can't act either. And it turns out he's the director's insert relation here. He has the same last name. The way this film is written is one of the most abysmal things I've ever watched in my life. It's awful. It's like the director never spoke to a woman in his life.
And has never met a child.
Hey, what do college girls talk about?
They talk about, let's see, wine. They talk about boys. They talk about the other girl in a shitty tone when she's not around.
Oh, of course.
And they talk about Viking masks. I just gotta calm my nerves with a glass of wine. Let's go, girls.
This film is written by a person whose only female interaction was via porn. Which, as we established, any scene in this film, slap the fucking Brazzers logo on it, and it will look totally natural.
It's true. Every scene they like, every scene, they're like the acting with like the women are just
This is some of the worst acting I've ever seen. Like, ever. And I mean, granted, the dialogue is so abysmal that I don't think a good actor could make it work.
There were some scenes that I legitimately thought that Tommy Wiseau had written it.
It kind of feels like
the sex talk scene.
Oh god.
The 15-second
What are you wearing?
Talk.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, like what are you wearing? I'm wearing a tank top. It's a crop top. I'm wearing panties, they're shorts, and then she asks him what he's wearing. I'm sorry.
Newsflash.
We don't do that. Us women, not all of us women, but
It's because anything a guy is wearing is not going to be enticing at all.
I don't want to know what my boyfriend is wearing right now, because it's probably sweats.
The blonde girl just talks about historical exposition and nothing else. Like, every line of dialogue out of her mouth is just weird historical exposition.
Well, the movie starts with exposition. Like, I mean, I've never seen a movie go so quickly into exposition. And you
guys are my best friends. You're like my sisters.
But her level of exposition is
the Nazis were like really into this.
These are very intriguing artifacts.
this artifact I found in the basement comes from this village in East France or whatever. The Nazis raided this village and killed all the people and took all their trinkets. Also, I read German.
She's stupid, but she's also smart, and that's her thing.
It's like I said, it was like the really shitty Spice Girls. You have Nerdy Spice, Shorty Spice, Slutty Spice, Alky Spice, and Scary Spice, which is just the main girl and her terrifying face. The fucking needlessly creepy pizza man. Literally,
that was part of the whole college girl. Like, oh my god, he was so creepy. So the little girl, she orders pizza, but I already ordered a pizza.
You think of everything.
She orders pizza. She never calls pizza.
A weird dude shows up at the house. And
overtly creepy. The shot of it, he's literally like that. and he like
Here's your
hands a
pizza.
pizza.
And he doesn't say anything,
He
he's
doesn't
just
say a word. He just opens the door and shoves the pizza in their face.
It's the most awkward thing ever. And he shows up to be creepy, say nothing, and then leaves the film without a
Virgil?
No.
What was Virgil's role?
I don't fucking know, dude.
The cast was very small. There's no like public shots in this movie. Oh, except for the cafe scene with
the budget for that.
But the thing is like the sound effects in this movie and like the ADR,
it's awful.
It's
Everything's
so
awful.
loud. But then like
loud.
it was like loud, but like the movie was normal, and then like I mean like when they closed the door, it sounded like the like AOL instant messaging like door closed.
The whole
but then
movie
in the cafe scene, not a single fucking mutter out of everyone else.
The whole movie is just like really shitty CGI monsters and like loud noises being thrown at you. And I'm like, I don't know if it's because I'm getting old and jaded, or I'm just like,
No.
This movie was just obnoxious.
No, this movie was obnoxious.
Okay,
You're
okay.
you're not there yet. This movie was just bad.
There's no plot to this movie. This movie is just like stuff happens and that's it. It's just like things happening.
And then
There's no plot, there's no theme, there's nothing.
so like the movie starts off with the Nazi guy being mean. And then he murders his daughter.
Yeah.
And then his seemingly like very innocent wife just kills him because she's been gone for missing
For a
3 fucking hours.
Yeah. It's
3 hours. She's like, she never leaves, so I'm going to kill my husband, who was already dying. And then they like, so he was like, oh, well, to be creepy, I have to put this weird amulet into the wall. And then the last scene
is the
is
amulet
like the
still
amulet
there?
like pulsating, and I'm like, did they just fucking open this up for a sequel?
It's never gonna happen,
It's
but
never
they did.
I was just like the cojones on this man, this director, who we will never mention his name.
I refuse.
The
60-year-old
director,
guy.
who cares?
Okay, can 60-year-old men stop trying to write for college students?
Like that should be illegal.
College girls, to say the least, should not write for college girls, let alone young people in general.
Like everything that comes out of like their mouths is just
From a porno?
It's from a porno.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I felt like James Dean was gonna break through the door and just be like,
No, he's a rapist. Oh,
no. Well, no.
Hey, what would you rate this movie?
You know, I believe that this is one of those fun, shitty movies where
What,
if
like
you
ironically enjoy? Yeah.
If you watch it with people, you'll have fun because we had fun.
True.
We found things like
I was miserable watching it by
Yeah.
myself when I was in Florida. It's pretty fucking awful. But yeah, no, if you're with your friends and you're either
I think it
drunk,
would be fun. So I would put it like give it a little bit of a higher rating because of that.
so ironically enjoyable.
Yes.
Okay.
I would say ironically enjoyable because I swear to God, if I saw one more man hiding behind the door when he was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be like one of those creepy, like, I walked in front of the camera and then he disappeared. You see him tug his arm in. So
Yeah.
like literally in a half second with the frame cover,
movie's lazy.
he ran into the closet.
I guess I'm inclined to agree. I mean, it is fucking funny.
Don't watch it by
Don't watch
yourself.
it by yourself because you're gonna be miserable.
You
unless
don't even need to be drunk.
You don't actually. It's pretty fucking awful,
Please
like all
don't.
around. I mean, it's just bad. It's stupid and cliche, and there's full of a million tropes and a million just awful, stupid jump scares and bad CGI and awful acting. But because of that, it's really funny. It's really lazy. It's ironically enjoyable as a fair rating.
I think we only found on the internet 1 4-star rating.
Yeah, I went on
One.
Letterboxd. One person rated it 4 stars, and the rest are all like 2.5 and under.
Like,
And there's a reason for that. It's because this movie sucks.
this movie is trash.
It's really fucking awful. It's the worst film I saw in 2017, and
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a bad movie like this, where it was just inherently bad.
regardless, this movie's dumb and bad, and you should watch it with friends because it's hilarious.
Don't
It's
torture yourself.
Also
by
awful.
yourself.
Hey, you should click down there and like and comment and subscribe, internet. YouTube is being really shitty to a lot of creators lately,
Yeah.
so tell them to fuck off.
Tell YouTube to fuck
Tell
off,
YouTube,
please.
hey YouTube, fuck off.
You can tell me to fuck off. That's totally fine.
That's cool too.
Don't and say it to YouTube because they
Say it
deserve
to YouTube. Donate to people's Patreons.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Watch the hatred or don't.
Hate the hatred.
I hate the hatred.
I hate
The hatred
hatred.
made me hate myself.
I hate the hatred and hatred hated me.
No one enters this house